Guys, it is the end of an era. If you haven't heard the big news, guys, something happened with YouTube that is going to change the very fabric, the future of this platform for all of its users. Susan Wojcicki, the YouTube CEO, has announced that she's stepping down today. And thank God I never have to say her name again, because I swear to God, for all the years that she's been YouTube CEO, I have no idea how to pronounce it. Is it Wojcicki? Who knows? Wojcicki? Either way, she is stepping down. And this is a very significant event, guys. In case you haven't known, she's been CEO of YouTube for almost a decade. Since 2014, she's been CEO of YouTube. And she's had quite the impact, not just on YouTube, but the internet as far as content creation goes for user-submitted content websites. You know, where YouTube goes, so does all the other social medias. Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, all of them, they're influenced by decisions and choices that Susan directly had to do as YouTube CEO. During her tenure, she experienced a lot of major events, guys, controversies, challenges, and more. But YouTube has since skyrocketed and grown to this huge conglomerate with YouTube TV, YouTube Music, YouTube Shorts, you name it. So definitely this platform has grown immensely during her time. 2014 till 2023. She almost made a full 10. But we're going to talk about this real quick, and we're going to take a look at this article that just lays some key points. I do have some concerns, though, about her successor, which we'll touch on that, because a lot of people want to know, is this going to make YouTube better? Is the next person that is in line, are they going to make the platform a better place as far as censorship, content moderation, things like that? So, yeah, I mean, this is uncharted territory here, guys. Uncharted fucking territory. So, her quote right here was, "Today, after nearly 25 years here, I've decided to step back from my role as the head of YouTube and start a new chapter focused on my family, health, and personal projects I'm passionate about." So she joined YouTube as CEO in 2014. She will continue working with YouTube teams, coaching members, and meeting with creators. So she's still going to, I guess, be a little bit of a figurehead of some sorts, not as a CEO, but obviously probably in a consultant role, which, again, people want to know, is this going to affect the platform? Is a new person being in charge going to make any changes? No. I think comparative to like how the Dallas Cowboys in football have Jerry Jones as the owner, as long as Jerry Jones is still alive and the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, things aren't going to change. Well, as long as Susan Wojcicki is involved as a consultant or any form of fashion with YouTube, things aren't going to change. But there's also another reason why I don't think things are going to change. Not that I feel the platform is bad, but honestly, I feel the platform could be a little bit better, but you're not going to please everybody with your choices and your decisions and things like that. So, right here it says it. She agreed with Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai in the longer term to take on an advisory role across Google and Alphabet. This will allow me to call on my different experiences over the years to console and guidance across Google and the portfolio of Alphabet companies. So she's actually spreading her influence across all of Google. You can see she continues on saying, "The time is right for me. I feel able to do this because we have an incredible leadership team in place at YouTube. When I joined YouTube 9 years ago, one of my first priorities was bringing in an incredible leadership team." So definitely, man, you know, definitely a lot of influence here. You can see some of the things it talks about is in 2006, she advocated for a $1.65 billion acquisition of YouTube. She joined Google in 99, oversaw the design and build of Google's advertisements and analytic products. During her tenure, she oversaw the company's rapid expansion to become the largest video platformer in the world, and now has 2.5 billion monthly active users and more than 500 hours of content are uploaded every minute. So you can see they definitely had a lot of issues and events. Just to name some, the obvious, biggest, most significant issue that Wojcicki faced during her tenure was the adpocalypse. If you guys aren't aware, the adpocalypse was a period when YouTube lost a significant amount of advertising revenue due to concerns from advertisers about their ads appearing on offensive or controversial video content. So in response, Wojcicki basically worked to develop a brand new system that wanted to ensure that it would prevent inappropriate content from being monetized. And this implemented changes to their advertising policies. And honestly, the platform's kind of changed so much since then. Again, for better, for worse, it depends how you look at it. The efforts have been successful from this. Revenue has rebounded, but I remember as a content creator around that time, it was such a period of uncertainty. I remember whenever you would upload a video, you'd have to have it would be run through checks for like a half hour for advertising approval. And then you might get a yellow check mark and you'd have to keep going through it and appealing until YouTube decided it was advertiser friendly. Revenue was super down. It was such a crazy time. That's when Patreon became a huge thing for creators. Creators started going towards the Patreon route so that they can have a steady amount of revenue coming in from their fan base directly, as opposed to AdSense being the middleman. It's definitely been tough. The other thing is that kind of coincides with this is censorship. She's had to make a lot of changes towards censorship on this platform. They have been accused, though. YouTube has been accused of censoring conservative voices. So conservative channels, for the most part, seem to often be the ones that are a little bit more censored. There's been speculation that it's because YouTube leans towards one side of the opposite political spectrum, often at times choosing, I guess, the woke side of things. But I do feel they did protect people from hateful content, abusive content, terrorism, things that would abuse vulnerable people, but it's not perfect. Any kind of system that has any kind of like content moderation is not perfect. It's going to slip through. People's content is going to get censored. And unfortunately, it does seem, and in my opinion, that it seemed a little one-sided towards the favor of the other side. They also increased transparency about how content's moderated. They've offered a lot more better contact for creators that have access to the Creator Hub and things like that. Again, not everybody has access to certain resources, but they did make efforts. Now, again, like I mentioned, they have seen significant growth. This has become the biggest video platform in the world. 2.5 billion monthly active users, $15 billion per year. It's been driven in part by like YouTube TV, which is basically cable TV that you could pay, like Sling. YouTube Shorts is a new thing that they've done. So she's done a lot here. Now let's go ahead and talk about the successor here and why I'm a little hesitant about this and why I think changes are not going to happen. So Indian American Neil Mohan. So this is YouTube's new head honcho. This is the new CEO, guys. It's exciting. Again, we have something new coming, some new changes, right? Maybe this guy is going to open up the pathway for censorship to not be, I guess, as hard. The ban hammer will be gone. So he has his own set of challenges to face as CEO. People are going to be constantly comparing him to Susan Wojcicki. Everything that he makes, whether it's good or bad, they're going to compare it to somebody that was tenured since 2014. And I could see where that could be a tough task to fill. He'll need to continue addressing concerns around content moderation, advertising revenue, and he also has to expand it even bigger than what Susan did and develop new products. So he has some big shoes to fill. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at his background a little bit. Again, I don't know much about him, so I looked up this article, and this says he will be replacing Susan Wojcicki, and he served as the head of the video streaming platform Alphabet for 9 years. He's currently serving as the chief product officer of the company, and he has been a longtime lieutenant to Wojcicki. So this is one of her, like, her I guess second in commands, basically. Like, this is a long-term lieutenant of Wojcicki. So he's going to share, and this is why I think not many changes are going to happen. He's going to share her same ideals, her same beliefs, her same, opinions on stuff. So if Susan cracked down a lot on conservative content or certain things and made certain decisions, this guy's going to be exactly the same fucking way. This is the equivalent to a vice president taking over as president of the United States and having the same beliefs and stuff. So nothing's going to fucking change, guys. I hate to tell this to you, all you guys thinking things are going to change. This is one of her right-hand men, all right? So he's going to be doing exactly what she did. You can see he shared an extremely cordial working relationship with Wojcicki. They started working together for the first time in the display advertising business. Since 2015, Mohan has been Wojak's number 2 guy to rely on. So, her literally number 2 guy. Basically her goon. So 2015, so that was literally like a year after she took over as YouTube CEO. So he's all in on every decision that she's ever made. So if you didn't like something that Susan Wojcicki did, you're probably not going to like Neil Mohan. He's probably going to be exactly the same. We're not going to see anything that changes the way that the content is. The algorithm's going to be the same still. Content moderation is going to be the same. Again, I feel Susan did some great things, honestly, but she did a lot of stuff that I feel like, dude, is anybody competent to run this platform? Getting next to nobody as a human for any kind of customer service that you need, unless you're over a certain sub range. Like, if you're small YouTube channel, forget about it. They don't give a shit. If they're not making money off of you, they don't give a shit. And that's just business at the end of the day. But this guy is going to keep her, I guess, core values as far as running YouTube. Nothing's going to change here. Her departure, Wojcicki's departure, does mark the end of an era for the company. But while it does provide an opportunity for new leadership, new directions and stuff, I feel that we're not going to see much change here. Wojcicki, she faced a lot of challenges again, the adpocalypse, but she also grew and developed YouTube very significantly. I think Mohan will have to continue that legacy. If he strays too far off the path, I think at this point it might just scare off investors. It just might cause a whole can of worms for people that are on the board. Like, you can't go and shake things up, especially if you've been her dude, like her second in command, her right-hand man, lieutenant, for almost, 8 years? Nothing's going to change, unfortunately. So if you're hoping that out of this, changes happen for you in the favor of people that use this platform, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Now, me personally, I have a love-hate relationship with YouTube. I don't think it's too overly censoring. It can be at times, but for me, I haven't really been censored. Yeah, I've had a video taken down here or there, but it was, hot button topics as a buzzword that I've seen in my comment section as of late, but nothing to the extent where I feel like, oh, I shouldn't be on this platform or anything, because if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't have a fraction of the experiences that I've had, going to conventions, being in a movie, getting video game codes, getting products, meeting you guys, having a viewership, having a platform. So I am very thankful for what YouTube has implemented and stuff. Would I be honest? Would I be lying if I would say I would like Neil Haman to do a lot of significant changes, especially as far as how content is seen and distributed and syndicated on the platform? You bet. I definitely would love some significant changes to the algorithm. That way everybody's content gets seen a little bit easier. But as far as like what kind of content YouTube is looking for to trend or push out, we're not going to see any mega changes here, guys. So sorry. Anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below. And yeah, end of an era So long, Susan Wojcicki. And I'm glad I do not have to say your name again because it is a tongue tie. I'll see you guys later. Thank you.